Good morning, good morning. Happy Wednesday. Happy New Year's Eve. Hope everyone's having a great morning and a great trading session so far. If you trade the open or pre-market, excuse me. All right, that's set up properly. Good morning, Amelia. How are you this morning? Are you trading today? Not you trading Monday. That sounds like plenty. I feel that. What is this? Oh, that must be the yesterday's low, I'm assuming. Yeah, yesterday's low. Okay. I did start my divergent stuff, but I did not finish. I was tired. I think I was up since like 6:30 yesterday or something. I was a little too tired. Just a tad. You know what? Where's this hot? Oh, I didn't even see. What news do we have today? 9:30. Cool. Coolio. I could have sworn. No. Oh. Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm starting to notice. So that's one of the patterns that I noticed when I was starting to study divergence a little bit. Basically, I'm essentially kind of trading exhaustion patterns, basically. Where's that one? Mm-hmm. 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 But yeah, this is an exhaustion pattern for divergence. I think I like it. And I think what I'm gonna have to start doing again is not not taking trade after a 1 bar pullback. I need to wait 3 swings again, because that affects, I think, the results of the trades. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Oh, we got equal volume there. I don't want to take that. Oh, this is happening. I don't know what happened to my freaking alerts. I remember doing this on screen. Maybe I didn't save my charts that day or something. Greater. Open. This. Open. Copy. Oops. On our close. All right. So there's an exhaustion pattern there. Well, that's an interesting slide. Shimmer just took a long hair red candle for Miles. I know exactly who because of what you said about something being red. No, he did. I actually was in the middle of watching the rest when you messaged me, and then I started studying, so I shut everything down to finish gathering all my data. But yeah, I'm gonna respond to you. Trust you me. The desire to catch a V-shaped reversal and catch a falling knife and like be a counter trend trader is crazy. Especially when you don't have anything to tell you that that's a good idea. No. It's not what I want to do. I'm trying to cancel it. Maybe I shouldn't have. It's a volume mismatch. I'm still, yeah. There's a volume mismatch, so I did not want to be in that. All right, that's a little loud. But yeah, that was just insane. Good morning, Diego. How are you this morning? But not enough from what I'm seeing. YM is falling too. Yeah, we haven't even reached any. Well, now we just reached a support level, but who knows how strong that is. And the session low is about 40 points lower. All right, so 1, 2. Yeah, I'm gonna wait another swing. 1, 2, 3. Actually, another 2 swings. So I think that 1 bar pullback kind of screws up some of my data for sure. Like there was a counter trend trade that I had lost, I think like 2 weeks back, and it shouldn't have. It literally shouldn't have. And the only thing that I can see that's the difference between that and all the other trades that I take the exact same way is that it was the 3rd swing after a 1 bar pullback. And I used to wait 3 swings before trading a 1 bar pullback all the time. I also think that it affects the divergence and everything else. So because technically when you have a 1 bar pullback like this, that's just essentially showing you a level of potential congestion, because we went up 40 ticks just to drop 40 ticks in the same exact area. And if we look on the time-based chart, it definitely was congestion here overnight. Look, this was we came down, hit this at 7:05 last night, pushed up, congested there some more, and then broke out. So yeah, I think trading after the 1 bar pullback, I just gotta wait a couple swings like I used to. 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna wait 1 more, and then I'll be able to start looking to see if I like anything. Now she has you on a smoothie bowl. You might have to get one on Saturday. It's supposed to get a bit warmer. I'm good, Diego. How are you this morning? I'm trying to figure out, I gotta call my sister to see if we're doing anything today or tonight, because the kids, my cousin's taking the kids to some place that has like ice skating and some other stuff. So if we're not doing anything and I'm not tired, I'll go with them so they have help, another set of hands, since it's 3 kids and only 2 of them. So we'll see. We will see. See, normally I would take this, but that was the 3rd pullback, so I couldn't. I don't know. It's all good. For now, I'm going to stick to that though. You know what I think it's crazy, Amelia, is that like watching people go on tilt is like the craziest thing ever because there's so much excitement in the beginning. And it's like, yeah, I'm just gonna do whatever the hell I want to, and nobody can stop me, and da 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 da. And as soon as the series of losses happens, it's like the whole energy just completely shifts, and it's just like, well, what exactly did you want here? I don't understand. They are funded, for sure. For sure, it was funded accounts. Mm. Oh, a killing. When you can make $3,000 to $5,000 a month on my funded futures, and I think they have, I forget what their commissions are, but when you can make that much on my funded futures, there's no telling how much you're making on with other companies. I'm sitting out of all the alternate pullbacks because I just don't know how I like these. The lower low to higher high to higher low. I'm still like super confused as to how I want to trade them. Eventually, I'm trying to get rid of the um the half trend, the solar wave that changes the colors, and trade naked with that. I'm still gonna have my levels, but I'm really trying to get rid of that at some point. But I'm kind of having to figure out if I can. So I document, like, let's say I take a pullback. I don't know what would be a good one. Let's say like this pullback. I'll document that like this was the opposite because it's green, but I'm taking a sell. I'll document that, and then like for divergence, I'll document like if it's the same color because it typically shouldn't be unless it's trend divergence, and it happens, it would have to be like trend divergence that happens here before we change to an uptrend. But I'm trying to see if because I should be able to get rid of it. Like, yes, it's good to see the minor trend or whatever, but I don't think it's needed. I think the biggest thing is knowing that for this particular volume pattern, we're looking for this type of, or no, for this particular type of pullback, this is the volume pattern I'm looking for no matter what. Are other volume patterns going to paint? Yes. Are they going to win sometimes? Yes. But for the most part, they're not. So if I miss a good trade because it doesn't follow the rules, well, oh well. And I think I just have to rework the volume mismatches. I think that plays a factor too. And then I think I'll be good. It's equal volume going up. You watch stuff like that in real time, you know they're making absolutely. It means nothing to them. That may even fuel his or her followers to do the same jump on the boat. That Methodical just made a video about a guy who basically told Patrick that he purposely takes bad trades so that the people following him does the same thing. Now, he initially tried to make it seem like it was because people who sell signal services are still in his trades. I don't know. But at the end of the day, you know that the majority of people who are watching you are people who are using your code. And then he was like upset because he only made like $100 the first week of streaming or something. Like, tell us why you're really here. Right, more volume, less ticks now. Okay, the ticks took over. No, it's different. 45. Okay. Market's being kind of weird today, I'm not gonna lie. Very weird. That's alright, we're gonna get something. See, this is something else I've been looking at. Like, you see how there's a really high volume bar right here? Like, this is a really high volume node. And it's pushing right into VWAP. A lot of times when this happens, when we have such high volume, but we only go a few more ticks, hit a level and reverse, as long as that reversal bar is lower volume than that high volume node, it just pushes. But I've gotten filled there. So that's something else. Like, it's just certain things that now that I'm trading volume only, I'm trying to pay a little bit of attention to. And that's one of them. 640, 654. But yeah, once I finish putting this together, I think I'll be good. For sure. Good morning, Amelie Marie. How are you this morning? Made a lot of money fading one of the streamers. Yeah, I do remember that. I think that was around the time I had first started. Still learning to trade, so it was a bit. Yeah. Still in your sim trades. Exactly. That dude is crazy. ICT in the title, and he would make so much. Yeah, a lot of, like, there are people who I know only put ICT in their title just because it's going to get them views, which is crazy as hell. And I mean, I've said a lot that I think that there are certain streamers who only grew as fast as they did because they had ICT in their title, like, every single day that they streamed. And of course, because of the following that he has, it helped them to build their following too. Because Olin was full-time trader. Happy New Year to you as well. Oh, I gotta reach out to Paul. I got that other set of codes. And all right, I'll have to get that later. But yeah, going back to what I was saying earlier about the alternate pullbacks, that I'm not quite sure if I want to take them or not. If I do, they can't follow the same rules. This one's a little bit different, but basically the thought process is the buyers obviously has some kind of control in the attempt to, reverse the market. We were creating higher highs, whatever. Eventually we hit a wall and we slammed down. So the buyers lost control. We slid down like 55 points. And then we have a pullback. Because the sellers didn't start off in control with the ABC, triangle pattern, it doesn't follow the same rules. So right now, I'm trying to figure out if it's worth it to trade at all, or if I just sit out of it, because it's technically a trend change. Whether it's just a minor trend change, a major trend change, it doesn't really matter. It's a trend change, and you have to be kind of careful with that, because something has to show either exhaustion or show dominance. And it's kind of hard to tell with this particular pullback. So right now I'm staying away from it for now. Oh my God, a piece of eyelash just fell in my eye. Sorry if that weirds you out. People look at me like, you could take your contact out and put it back in with no mirror? Yeah. You'll try your code on January 5th. All right, cool. Okay, I think actually it kind of makes sense. People would freak out when I could touch the middle of my eye. Yeah, you were yeah, I've been wearing contacts since I was 10, so about 25 years now. So I could just boom, boom, and keep it moving. Good morning, Janelle. How are you this morning? Marvin, why do you prefer Renko candles over volumetric bars? Because Renkos are the most price-based bar that gives you the best overall structure. Volume to me, now if you're talking about volumetric bars, like that has, because in Ninja Trader volumetric bars also has order flow. If you mean that, baby, I'm getting away from that shit. Okay. But like just volume bars, I don't really like, because it reminds me of time-based bars. I don't want any bar to close just because a certain amount of volume happened, a certain number of ticks happened, a certain number of minutes or seconds happened. I don't like that. Like, I want a bar to close because of price being there, if that makes sense. Yeah. The only thing with Rinkos is trying to figure out the bet, like that. the volume is really low today, so I probably could be on like a 16 tick chart, but for the sake of continuity, I just found that 20 ticks is best for me, because when it's low volume or high volume, I could still get some pretty good trades in. I think today, because of the way the market is, especially after this drop, the way that the market is, the best thing honestly is divergence, but I haven't finished doing my divergence stuff yet, so I can't take divergence trades. But next week I definitely will be able to. I'm probably about 25% of the way done putting all of the trades into an analysis sheet. I have, let me see. Yeah, the choppier the day, the more it's divergence trades that'll happen and not pullbacks, which is fine. It's just I'm not ready for divergence yet. So I have probably 50. I got a lot of trade examples. Let's see, 70, 90. 110, 150, 200, 250, 280, 310, 335. So I have probably almost 400 trade examples that I have to put into an analysis sheet. So, and I'm going to finish doing that today, actually. That way I can start trading it on Friday, actually, because I'll have today and tomorrow to finish that. I also just need to revamp the pullbacks just a little bit, like I said, because at this point, I kind of know that for regular pullbacks, this is the one volume pattern I'm looking for. For alternate pullbacks, this is the one volume pattern that I'm looking for. And then for the no interest reversals, there's one particular volume pattern that I'm looking for. So now that I have that, I can kind of reanalyze the data a little bit. I like the hierarchy of if we're pushing new lows or new highs, there's something that needs to happen because we have to show effort to keep pushing into that. Knowing the volume mismatches usually show liquidity runs or absorption. So re-looking at that now with a fresh set of eyes after watching it happen over and over for a couple of weeks, and also just having the data and organized a little bit different. And then what else is important? If we're pushing off of a level or not, which I need to look at that again, because I'm trying to figure out if certain levels matter or not. Obviously, OHLC matters. VWAP matters for sure. I'm trying to figure out if my pivot levels matter. For the most part, the pivot levels, yeah. Because price respects them, but a lot of times when it's respecting it, it's throwing a certain volume pattern to show exhaustion anyway. But I think that the biggest thing for me is getting rid of the half trend. If I can get rid of that and keep everything else, I'll be good. And it's not it's just another line here that I don't really care to see. But because of the way that it paints, it definitely shows when congestion can happen, especially like with pullbacks and stuff. And it can show when the trend is weak because of the way the market's pushing and stuff. It's just, I don't really know if I care to continue looking at it if I don't have to. I'll definitely keep the levels that show when we change from an uptrend to a downtrend, like from a major level, because that's important. Like we tried to change to an uptrend up here and we immediately rejected. So there's going to be some congestion until we flip out on either side. That's something important to know. But yeah, closing out the trading year on a very high note. Ooh, I love it, Janelle. I would say for me, trading has been going well since I switched to volume only. I think I only had one actual red day. I don't count yesterday because it should have been break even. I can't help that I didn't get out of the one of the trades on or get out of the trade on one of the accounts. But I'm also happy that I've simplified this. Um, it's just a matter of just making the last little tweaks that I need to make. But I feel like this is happening at the perfect time because we're about to go into a new year. I'm feeling good about everything. Um, and yeah, hopefully it continues this way. I think it will. I just think that the first time I was looking at volume, there was just certain little things that I was missing, like the mismatches that show liquidity and absorption and stuff like that. And now it kind of makes sense why certain things were working when I wasn't looking at volume that way. Because I would trade volume to a certain extent and I would notice that like there's certain things that like this works really well, but I didn't really understand why it worked. And now I'm understanding that, oh, it's because it was a volume mismatch. It was showing absorption or liquidity runs and things like that. So refreshing to see someone put in the work to actually learn how to trade. It's a real skill. Absolutely, Marvin. And that for me, like my whole purpose of creating a YouTube channel, I already have another channel with like 18,000 subscribers that I abandoned that years ago. It was about finance. And once I got out of debt, it was like, oh, well, no need to make these budget videos and debt elimination videos anymore. I'm good. But I really wanted to show the process of like what it looks like when you are actually trying to learn, when you're actually trying to study and develop a strategy and understand the market, because it takes time. You know, too many people tune in to people who already have it together, or they're tuning into people who don't have it together, but they're making money. And so they want to try to force their way into making money as well. And I just wanted to show the process, the realistic process of when you are really trying to learn, it takes time. And for me, I always lead with the notion of I was a nurse for 10 years. It took me 16 years of school to become a nurse because I count first through 12th grade. I didn't go to kindergarten, but I count first through 12th grade. And I count the 4 years that it took me to get my undergrad, right? So if it took me 16 years of school to have a 10-year career that I eventually, I wouldn't say hated, but I didn't enjoy anymore. What do I look like trying to force learning something so intricate in 6 months, in 3 months? Like I literally gave myself when I got on YouTube 2 years ago, I said I was giving myself 2 years. And I'm at the 2-year mark and I feel like I've made the most progress in the last, 2 or 3 weeks, whenever it was that I switched back to volume only with a different set of experience and knowledge that I gained by trading order flow for so long, realizing it ain't the order flow that I needed. It's other things that order flow made me pay attention to and things like that. 1, 2, 3. All right. So I could trade again. This 1 bar pullback crap is going to piss me off now that I know I'm going to have to start waiting again. But anyway, so yeah, for me, I don't think that spending 2 years really, I'm talking like hours upon hours upon hours of gathering data, analyzing things. You know, I don't think that's a long time when you're building a skill that can pay you forever. But it's just too many people who are just they're in a rush. Some people are in a rush because they're in desperate situations, which I think is the worst thing ever. To attempt to trade and learn when you need to make money. Also, some people are in a rush because what they see on social media, which I get it. Like sometimes you're just like, damn, I wish that was me. I wish I was getting $10,000 in payouts. I wish you know, you think that, but then it's like, no, I'm on my own journey and I'm trying to make sure that what I'm doing is not temporary. The success that I get to is not temporary. The results that I get are not temporary. That's what I'm trying to make sure of. And the only way to do that is to create a real strategy and not just click some fucking buttons. You notice none of us are degenerates at all. BJAX. Oh, wait. 400 trade example. But do you already have them in Excel, or do you have an online trade journal to analyze the trades? So these I actually have written in my journal. So like when I write trade examples, I write them in my actual physical journal, but then I just print them out so that I have all the data. And I do that because like I don't want to have to mark stuff up in my actual journal. I like it to be as clean as possible because there might be like different things that I like. If I'm taking these trades and putting them into an analysis sheet, I will mark off that I did that one and things like that. There's other times where like at one point I thought I was going to reintroduce order flow, so I was writing that down like here, order flow stuff, and I realized I don't need that. But what I do is once I realize like I'm done with that data set and I'm not going to use it anymore, I do scan it into my email so that I have it in case I ever want to reprint it, because there are certain things that I might write on that sheet of paper that I didn't write in my actual journal, if that makes sense. And the 400 trade examples are just divergence from, let's see, about maybe 12 trading days. And they're just the wins. So one thing that I realized was just write the wins down, see what patterns you can find within the wins. That way you can figure out if that helps you to filter out the losses. Like I was saying earlier, there's one particular volume pattern that like always works out counter trend. And there was one example in 14 trading days that it lost one. And guess what? It was because it was after a 1 bar pullback. It was the, let's see, 1, 2, 3. So it's basically like taking this buy right here. So whenever a 1 bar pullback happens, I will write, so in nursing, the letter P means after. So I'll put P1, P2, P3. So that means it's the first reversal bar after a 1 bar pullback, the second, the third. That's important to know because a 1 bar pullback is not a real swing, right? It's not a real pullback, but it can show a heavy level of congestion because why else will we go up 40 ticks and down 40 ticks in the same exact spot? Now, looking here, the 1 bar pullback happens here. You draw the zone and look what happens. Did we not just reject here? Right? But that's also important to know because in the process of me analyzing the volume in the market, the swings in the market, I can't really, the way that I analyze volume, like looking to see, all right, we have a 1.7K push impulse move up compared to 710. So yeah, there's more buyers in this push up, but is it really? Because the last time we pushed up, it was just 1 bar. No, that's why you can't compare it. So now I'm going to have to go back to counting the swings, 1, 2, 3. So after that third swing, then I can start trading again because now that 1 bar pullback doesn't matter. But yeah, today I just really think that divergence was the good plays today. And I'm just not, I don't have the divergence stuff together just yet, unfortunately. So, let's see. All right, so this is a volume mismatch. As long as the number of bars stay below 8. So you can see we have high volume in this swing up, but there's not a lot of bars in the swing just yet. Now, if we go beyond 8 bars, I'm going to take it off. But this shows absorption. So we'll see if we can get a sell here. One more. Okay. So now it's not valid anymore. But yeah, I know for sure it was divergence today. This is why I'm going to finish before Friday so I can start trading divergence. Whenever you have like the bar coding and a lot of congestion, the pullbacks are not going to work well. They're going to continue to like not go anywhere, and then it's going to be divergence that pushes the market. Get rid of NQ altogether. Girl! Thank you, Marvin. I think you did a video using TradeZilla some time ago. I do still have TradeZilla. I don't use it because really I'm just waiting until my strategy is back stable. Because I'm really just going to connect it to the PAs, which I think they should be connected. I'm just going to connect it and then, just automatically pull the trades in. But the other thing is, for me, I also want to make sure that when I'm in TradeZilla, it's more like automatic or whatever. So I already have some of the playbooks in there, but I'm not completely done just yet. So once I have all the playbooks in and I'm taking, trades and stuff like that consistently, then I'll be good to go to use TradeZilla again. Because it's hard to use TradeZilla to like analyze your trades when you are still like, okay, this matters. Okay, this doesn't matter. Now something matters that didn't matter before. And now it's like, okay, but I have this huge data set where this isn't even a component. So I don't want to like have that stuff in there basically. All right. And then I still don't know if I have to if we come back, I'm willing to get into the trade. I only didn't take it because we're so close to VWAP and we could always reject here. If it loses, I'm okay with that. Because I'm still like iffy on, do we get out at VWAP or not? Because price can always reject even though it's a support level. How much time we got left? 7 minutes. There we go. So like one thing I learned, this particular volume pattern, right, is so easy to see. This pullback 1K is less than 1.6 is less than 3.2. That shows that particular pattern shows that there's no, like, neither the buyers or the sellers care. So almost any trade that you get into like that will work out. Almost every single one. The only thing I didn't want to see because, well, like I said, VWAP was right here. So I was a little sketchy on if we could push through it. I still don't know if I have to break even at those or not. But the other thing that I don't want to see, because we were at a support level, the blue line is a support level. I didn't want the volume of the entry bar to be higher than this bar coming down, this highest bar coming down, because if it's truly a level of support, it shouldn't take a lot of effort to use it as support, if that makes sense. That's one thing that I learned. Now, if it's resistance, sure, it could be a high volume bar. But if we're really using this as support, it should be low effort. Volume shows you effort. So the volume of this entry bar was really low compared to the seller's last attempt to push down. So that let me know that it didn't take much effort to use this as support, which is what I want to see. And I'm going to eventually like make videos on certain volume concepts, because volume concepts kind of feed into auction theory, which I'm kind of learning at the same time. And once you start learning certain things, it's like, oh, this is so freaking simple. You just have to worry about certain little nuances. Good morning, Apple Jacks. How are you this morning? You did kickboxing 2 nights in a row. Girl, I was supposed to walk my mile yesterday. Did not. Legs was hurting. Because I told y'all I started working out again on Monday. Find out what setup has the highest probability. Exactly. Get out of bed yet, girl. Not Brother Marvin. Last day of the year, crazy. Yeah. Very intricate approach. And I thought I was detail oriented. VJax, let me tell you, I am so detail oriented. It actually bothers me sometimes. I'm not going to lie, it does. It does. Because it's like, why, bro? Why? But when you're trying to make something work, or not make something work, when you're trying to understand how things work, so I don't have to sit here and yell at the computer, yell at y'all about wanting the market to do what I want it to do. No, we're going to take a trade because history shows that this should happen. If it doesn't happen, cool. Like I told y'all, I was cool if I lost this because we pushed off of VWAP. Because right now, I don't know if I have to break even there. At least because this was a support VWAP. Now, if it was a resistance VWAP, probably wouldn't have tried it, but kind of extra hard on Friday if you're here. Get ready to empty that wallet. Not Janelle just exited the chat. I'm weak. What? Please don't pay her no mind. The combat rope? What's the combat rope? Is that the one where you do that with it? Is that? Or is it a different one? Wait, let's see. Yeah. Baby, my shoulders would kill me, okay? Can't do it. Did y'all know if y'all Googled 6-7, that happens? Why do Google play so much? Why? Just why? Just why, Lord? Ooh. You still don't it literally means nothing. It's the dumbest thing ever. It means nothing. Basically, there was a rapper who made a song, and in the song, he just randomly yells out 6-7, but he literally said it meant nothing. And then I think it went viral on a TikTok video or a meme or something. I don't know. It went viral somewhere. And now it just became a thing. And then, it became an actual movement, I think, from TikTok. They actually have that on 2K. So some people have equipped that. So whenever they make a shot, they just randomly stop in the middle of the court and do this. Get back on defense and stop playing with me. Girl, my eyes are going. It's my girls had me Googling that. Because, child, one of my friends on Facebook posted about it. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Okay, so I don't need to understand. The kids turn it into something positive. It's some gang shit. Oh, okay. Good morning, Trenches. How are you this morning? Did waves for 1 minute. A second. We did waves while jumping from side to side. Girl, how are you even able to type? It means something for sure. Oh, okay. Did y'all know that most Gen Z, most high schoolers are not? Yep, Janelle. When I tell y'all the test scores in my district are crazy, I'm not kidding. Not kidding at all. It's really bad. Really, really bad. And I mean, you think about it, we had book reports all the time, and we had a certain number of books we had to read, and these kids don't have that. Like, if they're not doing whatever little bit of homework that they get, I want to see if this trade works out. I'm still kind of iffy on some of these counter trend trades, and we were close to 9:30 anyway. I like the counter trend trades that happen like early. But yep, that's the trade I'm looking for. We have high volume. So look at this. The impulse move is great. Almost 2,000 volume, 36 bars. So that's the buyers are definitely more in control than they were on the last swing up. That's good. But you see on the pullback, we had a lot of sellers come in. There's 1.1K volume with 18 bars compared to the last pullback of 710 volume with 12 bars. So typically, whether that's trend or counter trend, the only thing I care about is that the volume of the entry bar is really high. And you can see that this bar took out all the bars from the pullback. So that shows that even though the sellers were attempting to take over, the buyers had enough effort to push the market. And I'm pretty sure that would have been a full TP. Yep. It would have hit my TP to the tick and then reversed. But who cares what happens after? As long as it wins. And it would have gotten filled too. But yeah, today just is a reminder of why it's so important for me to finish this divergence stuff, because these are my divergence plays today. All day today was divergence plays. Like, I even called out the very first one way back when I first got on the charts right here. So we had this happening. I don't really know how divergence works at certain levels right now, but that's neither here nor there. This divergence pattern right here was like such a perfect show of exhaustion. The sellers here in this bar were trying to push the market. Like, it took way too much effort. And look, we didn't really go very far after that. Low volume compared to the last impulse move down. And then the buyers didn't need very much effort to push the market up because of all the exhaustion that happened with the sellers in that bar. And then we pushed up. 33 bars is about 17 points. Simple. So I just gotta finish looking at that stuff, which I am today. My niece is 12 and cannot read. Wait, are you for real? That's crazy. Constantly reading a book, if not multiple books. Little cousins under 18 are legit dumb. Wrote a book about my niece being an engineer like me. Very cute and inspiring book. The rascal won't even read it. You know what? I'm going to try for Friday. I'm going to try to. So when we were in elementary school, every grade, every year, we had to write a book. I think one year was like a book of poems. And then other times, like, you had to write an actual story. You had to draw pictures and everything. And they actually got it like made into hardcover books. My books are still in perfect condition. My sisters are too. And that was what? Over 20 years ago. I got out of elementary at 10 years old. So you're talking about 25 years ago, still in perfect condition. I am going to find those books so y'all can see. I'm going to read y'all one of the stories. Y'all going to be like, what? And read y'all some of the poems I made. Some of them are just a little off the wall, but it's like little stuff like that that they don't do for these kids anymore. And then I also think that honestly, I think the biggest problem is our generation are the parents of these kids. Our generation is still outside. Some people have to work multiple jobs, literally don't have the time to put into their children for the ones who aren't spending their extra time doing other shit. And a lot of people don't have the village that our parents did. Like, growing up, I was at my Nana's house all the time. Not my grandma that's still living. My other grandma, she died when I was 10. I was over there all the time. My grandma who's still living, I used to be at her house every Friday, every single one. And my mother was very smart. So she helped us with all of our homework and stuff like that. But I didn't want help. Like, I used to cry if I didn't understand something. And she'd be like, well, just go to your room or something. Like, just take a break. And I'm like, no, I want to learn. These kids don't give a damn. They care about hurry up and finishing things so they can get on their phone. Some of them use their phones to get the answers for stuff. Like, they don't actually want to learn. And that's why they get out here in the real world and they know nothing. Absolutely nothing. But I think we also, our generation that are these parents, they have this thought process that like learning is on the teacher or teaching is on the teacher. No, there's quite a bit that you have to do at home. Like, I remember when I was very young, I have very horrible memory, but I remember when I was like, probably, I think I started at 18 months up until like maybe 4 years old. We used to, I don't know if they still do this, but they used to have this program called Parents for Teachers. And this white lady, she was probably in her like late 20s at the time. I don't know. She used to come to my house at least 1 or 2 times a week. And starting from like a young age, just helping you with shapes and colors and numbers. And my mom used to make games out of things because she knew I liked games as a young kid. So like, let's say she had flashcards. She'll, put the flashcards on the couch and she'll be like, okay, go grab a flashcard where, the answer is 2. So I would have to look and try to find 1 + 1 or 4 - 2 or whatever. Like we would make a game out of it. When I was learning animals and colors and stuff, go get the elephant. Like, this is not stuff that our generation is doing with their kids. And they are the first people to blame the teacher. First of all, there's such a shortage of teachers that there are a lot of kids in classrooms, and you have all these kids that have different ways of learning. Some kids are visual learners. Some kids are auditory learners. You have kids who probably have undiagnosed learning disabilities. Like you're trying to take one lesson and somehow, some way teach all of the kids in your class. That is not on the teacher. The teacher is there to give the foundation, to give the basics. It is up to you to finish that at home. And a lot of these people are not. They're not. Not you popping sparkling juice tonight, girl. Started back reading my hardback books. Try not to consume the internet most of the day. Yeah. Who going out tonight? Trenches. I gotta call my sister to see if we going out, because her and her boyfriend was talking about something when we were in Vegas. They was like, "Where's the New Year's Eve party?" I'm like, "Y'all house." They used to do it, but I don't think we did it at their house last year. I think it was the year before. He was like, So I don't know. If we don't go anywhere, I might go somewhere with the kids, because they're trying to take the kids to this place that has like ice skating and some other stuff, and they'll do a ball drop, I think at like 8 p.m. since it's kids. I might go and do that with them. But being a teacher is the worst job right now. Absolutely. I know way too many people who stop teaching. Said the same thing. We are the parents of these kids. What happened to us? We still outside. Outside is more important. I used to get my short stories picked really young. Oh, wow. Congratulations. That's nice. That's super dope. Yeah, they don't care. They don't. And then honestly, this is no shade to some of the ones that I went to school with, but I went to school with some very like materialistic people who, they only care what they wearing, who got the Jordans, talk bad about the kids who don't have the Jordans. Bitch, my parents could afford it. I didn't want them. I think I have owned 2 pair of Jordans my entire life. One pair was some team Jordans that we had to wear because that was our team shoes. I think my freshman year, I'm pretty sure. After that, it was Shocks, Nike Shocks. And then I had another pair of Jordans that what they would call Mexican Jordans, because they weren't like number 5s or whatever. I don't even know. Those are the only I don't even look at like, but this is stuff that they cared about, right? They cared more about that than actually learning anything. So most of them were probably quite dumb. And then you carry that over into your children. They care about what they wear. They bully kids who don't wear the same things that they wear, but your kids are failing. I was pretty popular because I was the star basketball player, and I was cool with like the nerds, the jocks. Like I was cool with everybody, right? And I was in a lot of honors classes. Eventually I stopped taking honors classes because I was like, oh, y'all lying to me. Y'all telling me this will help me with college and all this other stuff. It won't. But I graduated high school, y'all, with over a 4.0. I think I had a 4.13 or something like that. And that was with only taking maybe, I feel like I stayed in honors math. I did stay in honors math all the way through. My senior year, I was in honors calculus. So that's 4 honors classes. And I think I did 1 honors Spanish class. So I had over a 4.0. I graduated with a class of 673 students, and I was number 13 without trying because I was smart. But I cared about that. I'm like, okay, cool. I know sports can get me places. I'm not worried about that. But what can my academics give me to? Some people ain't care about that shit at all. They did not. That's why they kids so smart, but the test scores and the amount of kids reading less than 15%. That's crazy. And complain about stuff not being handed to them. Do some freaking work, I swear. Oh yeah, critical thinking, Janelle, out the window. Don't even try it. So being dumb was unacceptable for many reasons. If we were bored, she'd make us take a book home from her classroom. Oh, hell no. She could speech a lot. Yeah, they do have way more ways of being distracted, Diego. But guess what? That's on the parents. You don't have to get your kids cell phones or iPads or anything else. The problem is we've allowed technology to raise our children. And don't get me wrong, when I was younger, we watched Sesame Street. We watched Barney. But we weren't sitting here watching YouTube of kids playing with toys and like everything I can show. Matter of fact, I'm going to try to do that on Friday too. I still have educational toys that still work to this day from when I was less than 5 years old. I had this little VTech. It wasn't like the flip up laptop that, back then they had it. But that thing you could do math on, you could do spelling. Like I used to make a game out of it. How far can I go? Like it has a whole keyboard and everything. I still have the Alphabet Soup VTech it literally looks like a plate with a spoon handle and it has all the letters and numbers on there. Like I still got that stuff 30 years later. When I tell y'all, like, don't get me wrong, we would get Barbies and baby dolls, but my mama made sure we had educational toys. I remember when I was learning about the value of money and stuff, I still to this day have this ATM, still got the card for it and everything. I was probably like in middle school when I got this. So I was between 11 and 12 because I went to high school at 13. It was a little ATM. You had to have a PIN number. So when I would get birthday money and stuff, I would deposit it in there. It would tell me how much money was in there and stuff like that. Whenever I would want something, I would tell my mom, oh, you don't have to worry. I'll pay for it myself. You would have to withdraw money out of it. Like these kids don't got nothing like that at all. Imagine 2K existed when you were growing up with your... No, I had... Baby, hold on. The first 2K came out when I was 10 and I definitely have it. I could show you. If I showed you don't get it twisted. I got a whole, it's probably like a bin about this big full of games. I got my cousin just yesterday. He was like, why you got this Game Boy out? I said, because I was playing it like a couple weeks ago, but the backlight on it is not as bright. Either that or my eyes are terrible as an adult. But I've had almost every single game system since the Nintendo. The only one I didn't have was the GameCube, the original Xbox, and the Nintendo 64. I've had every other game system. I had games galore, honey. Between Sega, PlayStation 1 through 4, the Xbox 360. Of course, I got an Xbox, whatever, Series X now. I had the Xbox One. I had a Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance. I had all that shit. But for me, like my education was just more important. I had a really smart mom and I wanted to be smart like her. So I only played my games like when I was done with homework or on the weekends and things like that. Like I was the kid who came home and immediately did my homework so I could do whatever I wanted for the rest of the day. Whatever I wanted. Never owned a pair of Jordans and proud of it. The mics don't count. Got to be a number. Boy, F you. How you a hooper and wasn't wearing mics? Because no matter what team I played on, except my AAU team, I would say, we always had team shoes. So on my AAU team, because I was always playing like in shocks and stuff like that with other teams, I just played with shocks. Although I hated them. How tall are you? I'm 5'10". I'm very tall. Very powerful. I'm a former student who advised that she has students under 7 who wore expensive outfits and could. Yep. Janelle, that video went viral. There's a video, if I can find it. Oh, hopefully I can find it. There's a video that I have when I was 2.5. And I know I was 2.5 because my sister was a newborn. And I knew my phone number. I knew my address. I knew how to count to like probably 50 or something ridiculous. I was starting to learn a little bit of addition. Like my mama didn't play that shit. at all. You know how many kids, like, what's your mama name? Mama? What? So if you get lost, you don't know how to say my mama name is such and such. Like, are you crazy? I did not play that. Because if I ever got lost in the store, my mama name is Keisha Vaughn, okay? Ricky Owens. What is Ricky Owens? That must be an expensive brand. When I was a kid, no PS1. My friends always had the latest. Mama Kiki did very good parenting. Absolutely. I did have the Dreamcast. I still have it to this day. That's the only game system I have that does not, I can't play it. I can still play my original Sega. The Dreamcast, I can't play because, and I'm going to blame my mama. So we had Mad Catz controllers. And for whatever reason, I don't know if this thing was just hacked or something, but whenever I would plug in the Mad Catz controller, it would make the Dreamcast die. And instead of my mama throwing the controller away, probably because she spent money on it, she kept it. So this was probably like maybe 7 or 8 years ago. We had brought it out at a family function and somebody plugged that Mad Catz controller in and it made it die. So I'm gonna have to pay to get it fixed. But yep, I had the Dreamcast. I still have my Nintendo 64. I had an amazing mother. 22 years old, didn't know my father's full name until... What? What's wrong with your brother, T? Ready to... Girl. Ready to rumble. It's time to dance. It's time to dance. Dance, sucker. Oh, yes. What was it? Afro Thunder? That was my dude. I always fought with him. Yes. On Sega, besides Sonic, obviously, my other favorite game was, oh my God, what is it? It's called Dr. Robotnik Mean Bean Machine. This game right here, nobody can see me on this game. I mean, nobody. We used to have, like, our house used to be the house where everybody came to. It would be a Friday. Like, my cousins would be over. My mom would be cooking fried chicken and cookies and stuff like that. And we would just have different TVs with games going. This game right here, don't challenge me. I'm going to beat you every time. Because while you see this stuff just piling up and you think ain't nothing going on, baby, all I got to do is drop one and I'm going to get a combo of like 6 and you're out of there. I love that game. I still play it to this. I love this game so much that when Xbox came out with, it's like this Sega pack or something. When I saw they had this game in there, immediately bought it. Immediately. I think it has like probably maybe 40 or 50 like old school games on it. Let me see if I can find it. Xbox, Sega, Genesis collection. I feel like it is. Is it this one? I feel like it's this one. I'm almost certain it is. Why it doesn't say what games come in it? Oh, that's ass. Let's see. What games? Is it? Yep, it's this one. It comes with all of these games. I bought this thing so fast. And I've played some of the games as well, but like a lot of these games I didn't even have growing up. I just remember having the Dr. Robotnik and all the Sonics. I also, when they came out with Crash Bandicoot on the Xbox, baby, bought it. Crash Bandicoot used to be my shit too. See you, VJax. Happy New Year. Be safe. You about to pull out your old game? Donkey Kong. You know what? I don't ever remember playing Donkey Kong. Now my cousin had the 64 and the GameCube. So basically he had the game systems that we didn't have. And he had the original Xbox. I don't know if I ever played Donkey Kong though. Sonic was your all-time favorite? Hell yeah. Man, y'all bringing back memories. Look, I'm finna have to challenge my mama in that Dr. Robotnik today. I got a second controller. There was also another game that I used to play on PlayStation called, there was one I think called State of Emergency that I used to love. There was another game called shoot, was it Bubble Busters? I feel like it was Bubble Busters. I think it was this game. It might be a different. No, I think it's a different name, but it was something like this. And I used to kick my mama butt on that game too, y'all. Listen, I'm a gamer for real. I tell anybody, I've been gaming for a very, very, very long time. Because for me, it was like my way of just relieving stress or just being able to take my mind off of things. And that's why, like, to this day, it's funny to talk about because I'm not in this space right now. But like, if I'm like super depressed or anything like that, my mom will be upset because she'll be like, well, you don't want to talk to me and da da da, but you're on the game laughing and joking. And I'm like, yeah, because as soon as I turn the game off, I'm sad. So it's like, this is just my escape. And then also it's just that for me is just how I spend my leisure. I don't watch TV at all. I don't like going shopping. There's just a lot of things I don't like. So for me, I'm gonna play my game. That's it. That's all. Look at how this market is just, today was actually kind of trash. It was kind of trash. Wait, oh, this was after 9:30. I'm like, why didn't I get in this trade? That's why it was after 9:30. All right, let me show you guys the accounts. We're getting back together on this Apex account. Remember my first day trading it when I thought I had the volume only strategy together. I think I lost like $350 or $400 on this account. So we're trying to work our way back a little bit, which I like. So I just took the one trade. Like I said, today was really a divergence type of day, but she doesn't have that together yet. So it is what it is. But if I can scroll over, y'all see that? Almost. I forgot my screen is cut off a little bit over there. All right, so basically made about $130 per account for the one trade. Cool with me. Let's see. So as far as drawdown, we got back to the highest balance on the Tradeify account that I just restarted on Monday. So I got full drawdown there. We're rebuilding the drawdown on the TPT account. I'm almost certain the TPT account renews next Thursday. So I'm going to play it by ear. Hopefully, because I should be trading divergence on Friday, I'll get more than enough trades in before the 8th to just be able to trade it normally, maybe do 2 contracts possibly, but I think I'll be okay. Because as long as I'm not missing trades and things like that, I should be okay to like pass it by Thursday, but we'll see. And then the Apex account, still working to get back to full drawdown on that one, but I have $22.50 of drawdown left on that. The biggest thing for me and my biggest goal, honestly, you guys, is to try to get to my first payout next month, which I think at the trajectory that I'm going and at the pace that I'm going, I think I'll be able to do it. I think so. We'll see. We will see. Yep, green the last day of the year. That's how we want to go into next year, for sure. You too, Diego. Thank you, thank you. You too, Marvin. So yeah, that's it for me, you guys. I'm gonna go journal, continue analyzing this divergence stuff, and that's how I'm going to spend the majority of my day until I figure out if I'm going out or not. But I thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. Please like the video on your way if you haven't already. Subscribe if you haven't already. But other than that, I will see you guys Friday bright and early at 8:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. Enjoy the rest of your day. Be safe tonight. Don't get too drunk. Don't do nothing wouldn't do. And I'll see you guys Friday. Bye, guys.